So you're tired of writing your own social media posts, emails, or essays? Well, keep watching because in this video I will show you how you can use ChatGPT to consistently write exactly in your style. The method we're going to use is very simple. First, we'll ask ChatGPT to analyze the content you've already written to understand your writing style, and then we will be able to write a prompt that will consistently produce content like you. Let's put this into practice with a real-life example. Imagine you run The Economist Instagram account and you need to write social media posts based on current events. So here's how you would be able to use ChatGPT to write in your own voice. So first we're going to choose 3 of the best Instagram posts. So posts that really represent your style and your best output. So here let's choose this one. So we can see the structure, we have the description, and then we have a text overlay with a headline and 2 sub-headlines. So I'm going to choose this one, and this one. And as you can see, the 3 examples follow the same structure, which is very important. Now let's go to ChatGPT and run the prompts. I'd recommend using ChatGPT 4 because of course it's the most capable model and I get the best output with it. But if you don't have ChatGPT 4, you can just use ChatGPT 3.5. Just keep in mind that the quality will be not as good. So let's go ChatGPT 4. So what we're going to do is that we're going to run the following prompt. So let's break down the prompt together. First, what we need to do is give ChatGPT some context to understand what it needs to do. So here, this is the context I'm going to have. So I run The Economist Instagram account and I write posts based on current event along with the picture with the text overlay to go with the description. Okay, so this is what you do. So the context is there. Then we can move on to the instructions. So it's very straightforward. So what we are going to ask it to do is that based on the examples of the Instagram posts that have already been written, we're going to ask ChatGPT to identify and explain the common structure and tone used across all posts. And this wording is to avoid drawing inspiration from a single post in particular, but really acquire a common structure that will allow ChatGPT to produce a consistent output each time. Then I'm going to add also something about the length. So I'm going to ask ChatGPT to specify the maximum number of words for each post. And the reason why I'm doing this is that in my experience, ChatGPT is generally pretty good at following the tone, but not the length. So if you really have specific length guidelines, for example, you want your text to always be around 100 words, then you have to be very specific and you have to identify the length of the post so that you can then reuse them in the prompt. And then I'm finishing with a very specific instruction to my example. I'm going to ask ChatGPT to really consider both the text overlay and the description. So by this I mean this text overlay and then the description. And the reason I'm doing that is that I just want to generate, both of them. So this is very specific to my examples. If you're only generating one type of text, you can just skip this. Okay, so now we can provide the examples. Let's go ahead and provide the example here. So I'm just going to Okay, let's see what we get. Okay, so by adding this extra step of analyzing your existing post, what you're doing is you're setting ChatGPT up for success in creating new content, and really having those clear type of instructions will ensure better results, just like you would do if you hired an intern and outline all the steps required for a certain results. So now that the analysis is completed, we can move on to actually creating a new post. We're going to use the following prompt. Okay, so now we're actually going to ask ChatGPT to write a post in our style. Again, here you can see that I have a very a big emphasis on length because, again, it's very important in a lot of cases that you write text that has the same length consistently, and so by again repeating that the description should not be more than 90 words, I'm ensuring that ChatGPT won't forget about this and that it will be taken into account in the final results. So let's now add our article. Okay, so here's the result. As you can see, the instructions are respected exactly. So we have a headline, a first statement, and a sub-statement, then the description, again, which is following the tone and the structure that is used by the economist. So a really informative a summary of the situation, and a call to action to tap the link in the bio. Okay, so this is pretty good already, but as you know, this is an automation channel, so let's take this up to the next level. Now I'm going to show you how to achieve the same result, but with the API, so you don't need to copy-paste the prompt all the time, and you can fully automate writing in your own style using a Python script or using no-code tools like I've done here with this Airtable script. By the way, let me know if you want a specific video on this and I will make it for you. Let's build the prompt in the OpenAI playground using again ChatGPT 4. So first what we are going to do is add instructions in the system message over here, and this is to guide the model's behavior throughout the entire conversation. The way I like to structure my message, my system message, is the following. First, we're going to add some context about what we're trying to do, like this. So you're an AI assistant specialized in writing Instagram posts about current events for the Economist Instagram account. Some people also like to have the AI take a role. So for example, you're an experienced copywriter with 10 years of experience. Personally, I found better results this way, but of course feel free to try different ways to write a message and see which one you prefer. Then we're going to give some specific information about the structure, like this. So the information here I've taken from the previous ChatGPT prompt we've run over here. So it's basically this. And one thing I've done is that I've added the word count also. So here it was more of a range, so 70 to 90 words. What I've done instead of having a range is give a strict word count limit, 90 words max. And again, this is to ensure that output is not too long. Okay, so now we have the instructions. Now let's simulate a ChatGPT chat, but with the API. We'll start with two pairs of messages. So a user message with an example of input, then an assistant message with an example of output. And the goal here is to show exactly ChatGPT what results you're expecting. Next, the third message will be the actual input we want to use to create the post. So we're going to add it here. And then the fourth message will be the API response in form of it will be an assistant message. Then we're almost done, but what you should do before running your prompt is experimenting with different parameters. So the two main ones you should be aware of are the temperature and the maximum length. So the temperature will control ChatGPT's creativity. So the lower it is, the more conservative and straightforward output you'll get, and the higher it is, the more unpredictable but creative output you will get in return. For me, I'm going with 0.7 for this example, but feel free to try different temperatures to see which one is the best for you. Then the other very important parameter is the maximum length. So with ChatGPT 4, you have a maximum of 8,000 tokens. And the closer you get to the token limit, the lower the quality of output. So what you should do is use the tokenizer to count the number of tokens in your messages so that you can here set the maximum length, because you get 8,000 tokens for everything. So all of those messages, including the API response. So OpenAI has a tokenizer you can use to calculate the length of your messages. So let's do that. For example, so this message is 192 tokens. Okay, so what you will need to do is do the same for each message, and so I've done it off screen. In our case today we have 3,878 tokens, taking into account all of those messages, and taking into account that this message is not going to change, so it's going to be the same length. This one is not going to change as well. The second one is not going to change as well, but the input might change. So to be on the safe side, knowing that the expected output is around 150 words, so around 200 tokens, I'm going to set a max length of 3,000 tokens just to be on the safe side. Okay. Let me correct that. So now let's test the output. Oops, nope. Okay, so now that we're getting what we want, we can actually use it in a script so that we can then further automate writing in our own style. Here's how you can do it. So you're going to click on view code over here, and then simply choose this drop down to choose the desired language you'd like to use. What you're going to end up doing is remove this message, because this is the output of the AI, and then here you should have a variable that's going to add the input you want to use every time you use the script, so that you don't have to modify the script every time. And if you want to use this with no-code tools such as Make or Zapier or Airtable or Google Sheet scripts, what you're going to need to use is curl requests. So here you have a simple curl request you will be able to use for your no-code automations. Again, let me know if you want a specific video on that, on how to use the ChatGPT API with Zapier, Make, Airtable, Google Sheets, and I will be glad to make it for you. And there you have it, you're all set. Now you can let ChatGPT write everything for you from now on. It's like having your own personal AI assistant. Okay, so let me know in the comments how you plan on using this. And as always, if you found this video helpful, please make sure to like, share, subscribe, and I will see you very soon in my next video.